Hi everyone, I'm Mike Hollis, the Urban Farms Director at Services for the Underserved. Thank you for joining our second live broadcast in our First Fridays with Urban Farm series. These broadcasts are an opportunity to highlight some of the amazing urban farmers that work with our program to show the diversity of SUS urban farm and garden spaces and to offer some horticultural and culinary tips for you to try at home. This is a live broadcast, so if we do happen to experience any technical issues, please bear with us as we work through them. And because we're live, you have an opportunity to interact with us. So if you are signed into YouTube, feel free to use the live chat feature to comment or ask questions throughout the episode. Our urban farmers are the backbone of our work. They are the core stewards of our farm and gardens, keeping them watered, weeded, and landscaped. And they are the frontline workers for much of our operations. So from the construction of new gardens to the processing and distribution of our harvests. In our first segment for today's series, we are highlighting one of our longest serving urban farmers, Noel Cortes. And I am excited to be joined live by Noel on our YouTube broadcast. Hey, Noel, how are you today?
Hey, Thomas. Good.
How's it going over there?
I'm doing good.
Excellent. So you have been one of the longest serving urban farmers at SUS. What are some of the tasks that you really enjoy doing the most?
Cleaning the beds, weeding, and planting, and everything the most.
Fun.
And yep. Make sure the cats don't poop in the beds.
And that's always a challenge, right? To keep some of the critters under control in New York City.
Yeah.
You have been involved in a lot of the construction for so many new gardens everywhere from the Bronx and Brooklyn to Far Rockaway. Any favorite spaces that you have or favorite projects that you've worked on?
Beach.
Beach 85th? Yeah, that was a big one. Yeah,
the big project is the Lego house. It was a big one.
Ah, yes. All right. So
we have to move a big, tall tree, man. That was heavy.
That was maybe one of the heaviest things we ever had to move, right?
We had, the bottom, the trunk of the tree.
Right.
That thing weighs like 250 pounds.
I think it was probably even more than that, because how many people did we have around that tree at the time? Maybe
We
10
got it by
all at the same time. Yep. Might be losing some of Noel's Wi-Fi. We'll see if Noel comes back on.
7 people.
Oh, there we go. There we go. Sorry, Noel, we lost you for a second. Yep. I think the Wi-Fi might have disconnected a bit. But you were mentioning 2 very large projects. One in Far Rockaway, where one of the residences that had been impacted by Hurricane Sandy, about I guess a year and a half afterwards, we started kind of the design and redevelopment of their gardens.
Yeah.
And you were really involved with putting in some of the new raised beds, with the pergola, with kind of restoring a lot of the landscaping. And then you
especially Pinko get involved. We fix everything.
Yeah, yep. And then you mentioned the Lego building, which was one of our new residences in the Bronx, which was a beautiful building that had a really wonderful blank slate. And in fact, even though it's the background image and you can only see parts of it, the background image of our screens right now is kind of an overhead shot of 3rd Avenue. So, Noel, you mentioned a tree that we actually moved, and then you can see some of the raised beds that Noel helped to construct. There's a gazebo there. Yeah, it's an amazing space that we'll have a chance to tour at some point on one of our future broadcasts. Some amazing work over the years, for sure. Now, you are currently at one of our smaller garden spaces in Brooklyn. And I'm wondering if you could show us around with some of the things that you've planted over there this year.
We got lettuce, we got squash, peppers, tomatoes, and hot peppers. You got mint. You got spinach. You got those, and that's it.
Beautiful. I mean, it's a pretty compact space. So even what you just named, about a half a dozen different types of plants in a small backyard, I think it's a really good example of what you can do in New York City, even when you don't have a lot of space to grow that many different herbs and vegetables.
Yep.
Yeah, outstanding. You have also worked not just in doing the urban farming, but also some of the landscaping. And I know the building that you're at right now, you helped to kind of plot out and plant landscaping in the front. Would that be something you're comfortable in walking us over to, just to kind of show us some of that work? Lovely. Yes. So I'm seeing the hedges in the back. I see the beautiful Japanese maple in the center that I believe you and Phil planted a number of years ago. There's the rosebush over to the side. Yeah, it has some beautiful flowers on it right now. That is very much in bloom, isn't it?
Yeah.
Lovely, lovely, lovely. Yeah, to go from a very empty space that didn't have much in it, and then to have something like that with all of the beautiful blooms right on the street for everyone. Yeah, that's really wonderful.
Yeah, they're still growing. The whippoorwill willow's still growing.
Yep. Yeah. It's kind of a Japanese maple that does have a bit of a weeping effect to it, right? So Noel, for any of the viewers that we got, want to give any shout outs or Uh,
Yeah. The the only one to go shout out with is Thomas Wilfredo and all the rest of the urban farms. We gather around to do the the market, make the bee, especially we improve to make the beehive and train people to do the beehive and all the stuff we do.
yeah, and I know that urban farmers throughout all of our buildings and all of the boroughs that we're working in, yeah, definitely just having the opportunity to work together in person with folks like you, Noel, and definitely look forward to reconnecting when we're able. And we've got opportunities like this where you're kind of showing us the space we're in right now to kind of stay connected for the time being. Excellent.
Yeah.
Noel, thank you so much for joining us today, and thank you so much for all the work that you've given to Urban Farms.
Thank you, Mike.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
All right. So that was just really wonderful stuff, and like I mentioned, shows how you can really take any space in the city and do some gardening, even if it's a compact backyard or even in some cases just a windowsill. For our next segment today, we're going to be bringing you into the kitchen for a project that anyone can do from home. I want to welcome back Program Coordinator Wilfredo Illa for another 5-minute workshop. Hello. So what have we got on the docket for ourselves today?
So today we're gonna make some pickled eggs. In order to do pickled eggs, you need to hard-boil the eggs. For hard-boiled the eggs, you put the eggs into a pot with water. Make sure the water is covering the eggs. You add a little bit of salt and vinegar. You put on high heat and boil them for 15 to 25 minutes. Then you need a brine, and for the brine, I already have a brine ready here. And for the brine, we're gonna use water, white vinegar, apple cider vinegar, wine vinegar, sea salt, and sugar. And then the other ingredients that we're gonna use today are the boiled eggs that I already have ready, some onions and beets, and spices. We have peppercorns, pepper flakes, and homemade pickling spice. I'm gonna start building the jars. This is gonna be quick today. We have 2 jars. We're gonna start building them. And you wanna add spices to them. You can add any spice that you like. You can play around. Pickling is fun. You can pickle almost anything. Onions, beets. We'll transfer real quick the brine, the measuring cup. For the brine, it's going to depend of the recipe that you're making. It's usually half of the jar that you're making. You have 2 jars. There are 1.5 cups. So around 2 cups of brine is good. Add the brine. Gonna keep building up real quick. You can push everything down. You want the beets in because you want the color. They became purple. And we have a recipe, a similar recipe on our YouTube channel that we're gonna upload after we finish the live. You wanna cover the entire jar with the brine. And since we did a recipe for the YouTube channel, we have here some pickled eggs. And when you finish, you're gonna put the lids on. You can shake them. You wanna let them to rest to room temperature. You wanna storage them in the fridge. These are refrigerated pickles. We are not doing cleaning, so storage them in the fridge. You can eat them quick, but if you let them sit for at least 2 weeks, they're gonna be amazing. So I hope you guys enjoyed this recipe, and I wanna see you soon in the next video. Follow us on YouTube. Give us a like, and I wanna say that thank you, Mike, for having me back.
Oh, that's awesome, Wilfredo, and it really gives a lot of opportunities for folks at home to experiment with different flavors in pickling, because I think we're all kind of accustomed to buying dill or sweet pickles from the grocery store that use cucumbers as their base. But the world of pickling offers so much more variation that you can try, both with the actual ingredients that you're pickling, but also, as you mentioned, some of the herbs and spices that are used to flavor the recipes. So yeah, thank you, Wilfredo. That was really outstanding. Great information.
Excuse me, Mike. And you can like pickle almost anything, and like you said, you can play with herbs, spices, and everything. I just wanna make a shout out to my wife because she's been behind the scenes every time. She's now recording. She's behind the camera. So shout out to my wife Maria for helping me with everything.
Absolutely, yes. Thank you, Maria, for all of your camera skills, not just in the live broadcasts, but also in many of the recorded workshops that you'll find on our YouTube channel. So thank you again, Wilfredo.
This is a really good snack.
It looks it, yep. Yeah, and really beautiful color too. Right. Yeah, so if you enjoyed that 5-minute workshop, you can absolutely check out the other videos available on the YouTube channel. So from gardening tips to cooking techniques to do-it-yourself projects, we now have over 30 videos available, and we're adding more regularly. So do feel free to subscribe to our channel for updates on any new posts. And if you have a topic that you're interested in, let us know. So Noel, for instance, mentioned the Lego building. And just last week, a resident there had questions about planting potatoes from tubers that she purchased at a grocery store. So our Urban Farms manager, Dan Danza, made and posted a video in response to that very question. So if you do have questions or requests, whether it's for your home garden or one of our SUS gardens in the field, absolutely feel free to email me. Thank you all for joining us, and for those who interacted with us today through the live chat. If you have a garden or a green thumb at SUS that you'd like to see highlighted in a future episode, please also let us know. We'll be broadcasting on the first Friday of every month at noon. Thank you again, and I wish everyone a safe and enjoyable holiday weekend.